Hey y'all, it is March the 10th, 2020, 2025, and if we're keeping count, this would be the first day of my 30 consecutive days. Let's see if I can keep it up. Not only keeping a routine, but also um, shooting a video every day. Maybe about 10 minutes. Talk with y'all about whatever. It's on my mind. Perhaps it's on your mind too. In fact, I should make a video on my checklist. In the background, you're seeing an app of mine that I have open. It's called Notion. And on Notion, you can make any number of type of documents you want, whatever you need. And so I use it a lot to create checklists. All right. I think I might have just messed it up a little bit. What the heck? Anyways, I'm not going to worry with that right now. All right. I'll move it back here in a second. But behind me is a checklist. All right. The things that, I would like to get done during today in particular. As you can see here at the beginning, all these stuff is checked out. I definitely try, especially in the morning, to get all these bases touched. You might say it goes without saying to do these things. Perhaps it does for you. And I would be doing these things, but having a checklist is quite helpful. Yeah, I woke up, all right? That was number one. Check that off. Like to do a silent prayer, whether it's 5 minutes or whatever, right when I wake up. Got that done. Got all this sort of stuff done. It's kind of crucial to me having a very productive day. I got roll around, for example. That means limber up. When I wake up, I'm all stiff. I roll around, move my body certain ways to make it prepared. To make it prepared for the day is actually crucial. If I don't do that, I'm asking for problems. Drink some water. A lot of people already know you get dehydrated when you sleep. You should know that. So you're waking up dehydrated, might as well drink some water. You live in America, you got access to water, you might as well do that. Get ready, it's a good idea. Might go without saying, but what if you woke up late? You wouldn't have time to properly get ready. It's crucial to get ready properly. That's why I wrote it down. Brush teeth. I could go to work without brush teeth. But I'm asking for problems, aren't I? All right, it's crucial to do that. Comb my hair. Look, my hair is outstanding, all right? But it's good to have good grooming and comb it real good, all right? The list goes on. Smell good. I got a little cologne splash on me. Make coffee. That's going to help. Do push ups. I'll have you know that every morning I'll get up and do push ups. And it does wonders for my chest. I'm not always able to do chest workouts. All right, so on a daily, I do push ups, progressively trying to do more and more. I'm up to the point where in total I do 70, all right, 70. But I have to admit, okay, this is how I do it. Push ups, I'll get about to either about 50 or 60, depending on whatever the day. And then I'll push myself all the way up, kind of rest there for a moment, give myself a little rest and a breather. And then without getting up, I do 10 more to make it 70. It hurts. Most people cannot do that many push ups. I do them every day, regardless. Thing is, it makes you feel real good. First of all, it gets your chest nice and swole, gets your blood flowing. It's a little exercise. You don't have to get sweaty, but it gets your blood all flowing, gets your chest all swole. I like to do that. Leave by 5:20 a.m. for work. That hardly ever happens. Sometimes it does happen, and I'm successful. I didn't check it off because it did not happen, all right? So I accidentally messed up the sequence here just now, and I don't know how to put it back the way it was. I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure that out later. But Macho Madness should actually be up here above I did not. And I put I did not because I did not catch Macho Madness. All right. And I want to talk about that here in a second. I did wind up eating dinner, and that's good. I did take a shower. Was I done by 7:45? No. So I didn't get to check that. All right. Did I get any crypto practice in? Absolutely not. Did not have time. Chill with Dog. I'm actually going to chill with Dog right after this here video. It's going to be the last thing that I do, basically. Before I go to sleep, am I going to be able to get to sleep by 9 o'clock? No, probably not. All right, so I don't get to check any of that off. I did do a lot of checks, though, as you can see. I'm not sure what I'm going to grade myself just looking at this. But if anything, I'll give myself a 7 out of 10, probably. I think that deserves it. I did a lot of different stuff. All right. I didn't work out because, I was over at work, spent a lot of time at work, had to go through rush hour traffic. By the time I got home, it was not appropriate to work out. I want to stress too, in my own personal life, I've begun to embrace the concept, and I guess this might be the theme of this video before I get up out of here. The concept of never rushing. Never rushing. Now, some people don't rush anyways. Some people rush all the time. I used to be one of those trying to rush, especially with these daily listen routines, trying to rush, trying to get it all done. Not too long ago, I was trying to go to work, hurry from work to the gym as fast as I could, to get a pump as fast as I could. That way I can get out of there and as fast as I could go take a shower, go eat something, and then as fast as I could try desperately to study crypto trading. Not only did it not work, but it was actually miserable. Might I suggest, for anyone who's never heard of it or that never contemplated, I'm beginning to understand that Satan wants you to rush. I could be wrong about that, but I'm beginning to understand. I wonder how many people out there have already understood, or are they beginning to understand it right now? Don't nobody want you to rush, but Satan. If you think about it, does God want you to rush? Now, you can do things expediently, you can do things efficiently to best manage your time. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about rushing frantically, desperately. Oh, I gotta get this done. Oh, I gotta get this done. Oh, man, I gotta get this done and stuff, and I gotta make sure I get all this stuff done. It's dawning on me that only Satan would want you to live this way. The anxiety about it. For example, I would suggest, and I've heard it suggested, that the worst possible thing that Satan would have you do is be still and know God. I believe that's in the Bible. That's the most hated thing Satan ever thought of. He does not want you to be still. He does not want you to know God. He wants you to rush. He wants you to be all over the place and meanwhile getting nothing done. I'm not going to have it no more. Right? Yeah, I got these things on my checklist. Yeah, I want to get them done. Hey, if it turns out that I can't do it without rushing, I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to do it tomorrow, in which I'll have appropriate time and stuff, and I'm not going to rush. And anyways, I thought I would bring that up. Maybe there's someone out there who wants to hear this. Maybe there's someone out there who needs to hear this. Rushing. It's preposterous. Yeah, I've been doing it this whole time. It's stupid, I think. And it's of Satan. So I wanted to get back. Here's the deal. Since I didn't work out, didn't catch Macho Madness, I had the time to go ahead and go for a small walk, a very small walk. It wasn't very long, maybe 20 minutes in total, to go for a nice little walk after my dinner. I'm told, and I would tend to agree, that it's probably the best thing you can do after you eat dinner. It's to go for a nice stroll. And in fact, back in the day, and you know which days I'm talking about, that's what people did. It's just what they did. Somehow we've lost all that. Most people never even considered it. I think it's very delightful, especially with the weather right now. The weather really can't get much better here in San Antonio right now. It's one of those times of year to savor because very soon it is going to be hot and moist here in San Antonio, which I do enjoy, but most people don't. And the thing is, you will get mad sweaty, all right, whether you enjoy it or not. You're going to get mad sweaty if you go outside. But right now, it's actually pretty decent. So I went for a walk. And I was planning to maybe do a little crypto, just a little tiny crypto studying, but without rushing. Um, that didn't happen. And the reason is because at the end of my walk, I ran into a neighbor. What time is it right now? Yeah, it's just the right time. I ran into a neighbor, and I'll talk with you more about him probably later. He's kind of a deep guy. Kind of a real deep guy, and I don't talk to most of my neighbors. I don't care to. I see them. I might look at them and wave or something, but they're just not. I don't have any desire to talk to them, all right? But this one in particular, um, might I just say that the majority of the world would take two looks at this guy and say, this guy is fucking crazy. In fact, he does have a nickname. I'm not going to tell you his first name, but in place of his first name, let's just say his nickname in this neighborhood is Crazy Patrick. That's not his real name, but if you switch it out, that is his nickname. Had a nice little talk with him, you know. Had a fulfilling talk with him. And yeah, there's reasons why people call him Crazy Patrick. All right. But if you just stand with him a while, talk with him, not only will he say very cogent things, but he has a tendency to be spiritual in his conversation. And for myself, it's right up my alley. That's what I like the most. To talk about spiritual things, whether I agree with someone or not, does not matter. But I like talking with them about things. And the thing is, me and Crazy Patrick, we agree on a lot of things. All right, we've talked at great length before. As I was about to get home, go across Crazy Patrick's house, and Crazy Patrick is out. So I say, hey, what's up? We get to talking for a little while. And it wasn't nothing too much. I asked him how he's doing. He asked me how I was doing. And because I feel like neither one of us participate in small talk, I brought up like, what you've been hearing and stuff, what you've been hearing about the world. And he didn't really mention much. And I said, well, what about Syria? Let me bring that up just for a second. Syria. The unbelievable, and it is actually believable, nonsense, brutality, savagery taking place in Syria. And I will have you know that if it was up to Satan, if it was up to any of his minions, exactly what's taking place in Syria would be taking place in America and all over the world at whatever given time. That's what they love. That's what they love. And to that point, I got to say, extremists are not good. I might argue that in my experience, the only extremist that is any good is an extreme Christian. And I know a lot of people want to say, oh, what about these guys? What about their extreme Christians and stuff that go around killing people? If you were an extreme Christian, you would never go around killing anybody. That's what it means to be an extreme Christian, except if they put you in harm's way or if they put innocent others in harm's way, then you step up and it's called self-defense. But an extremist Christian, you'll know. An extremist, anything else is violent as hell. That's all I know. So I asked him about it, if he had heard about it, and I said, well, brutal savagery and all this. But I said, you know what? Because it was on my mind at the time anyways, I said, you know what, though? What's more important than whatever's going on in Syria, where people are dying, a lot of innocent people being slaughtered, put in mass graves, it's being videotaped, put on the internet. Same kind of thing was happening in Gaza. Same kind of things was happening over there in the Ukraine and Russia, and who knows how many other places. But I say, you know what? I think is more important than this. And I was speaking to Crazy Patrick. I said, what's more important is that we do not lose our focus. When you're rushing around all desperate, you're going to lose your focus by definition. Focus, to maintain your focus, might I suggest, you have to slow down. You have to be not so frantic and concentrate on whatever's important, whatever's right in front of you. To which he agreed. And we talked about some more stuff, namely some lady that he heard who she was touched by God and Jesus and stuff like that. And he wasn't sure whether or not he believed her. And he admitted that's not his place to believe her or disbelieve her. And I would agree, it's really not our places to believe or disbelieve someone when they're talking about whether or not they were touched by Jesus. That's their own story, and perhaps they were. I'm not going to believe or disbelieve somebody who's talking like that. But we did agree, focus. Satan does not want you to focus. That's what I know for sure. And Satan wants you to rush. Satan wants you to be all over the place all at once, getting nothing done. That's what he wants the most, is what I would suggest. And are you going to give it to him? Am I going to give it to him? Am I going to give him the satisfaction? I pray that I don't. He deserves nothing from me. Anyways, all sort of malarkey, shenanigans. Yeah, it's going down. Just like we all knew it was going down. I'm going to get up out of here, but yeah, they're trying to take down X. Yeah, that happened today. A huge orchestrated, it had to be state sponsored. It was so orchestrated type of hacking going on X.com. They hate Eli or Elon. It wasn't long ago people loved Elon to the point is I couldn't understand why they loved Elon so much. Now those very same people hate Elon worse than they hate Hitler. It's the very same people. It's unprecedented. Just as Alex Jones said, they are currently trying to crash the stock market so they can blame it on Donald Trump. And the list goes on and on, all sort of things. Yeah, you knew it was going down. Right? It's going down. And as I said before, we're in a civil war here in America, and I would assume you're in a civil war no matter what country you're in right now. You're in a civil war. In fact, we're all in the civil war. This is the first, I think, official. Let me make it official. This is the first global civil war that I've ever heard of. Yeah, it's going down. For any people out there, and we'll get up out of here. There's some people out there who's like, "Oh, Trump's the president. He's gonna make everything good now." And it's like, okay, I can sit back and I can take a breather, and I don't have to do too much because he's gonna make everything so good for me, and he's gonna tuck me in at night. There's some people who are out there that are like, "Oh, if I just have a happy wife, I'll have a happy life and stuff, and Trump's gonna make all my dreams come true and stuff, and I'll just wear a MAGA hat and stuff like that." I'll have you know, it's the exact opposite. Now more than ever do we need extreme focus, and we do not have time to just take it easy. And at the same time, I don't think it is appropriate to rush around trying to put out every fire that you could think of in your mind. I think that's what Satan wants. So, but I might be insane, and I'm still, honestly, I'm not taking that off the table. And later on, they might study these videos and say, look, this is the most insane motherfucker we ever heard of. And I might not even argue with them at that point. So it is March the 10th, the first day of my 30 consecutive days. Let's see if I can do it. 2020, 2025.